Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 1 of The Magic Hour. That's right, I'm back for another season. Be sure to follow me on my Instagram at Fame Film Agency and click that subscribe button on my YouTube at Magic and Dairy. Today, I have a very special guest, a wonderful individual who has made us laugh, made us proud, and he made Hollywood pay attention to a kid from Melbourne. Actor, comedian, director, producer, fixer, and the man who proved once and for all that Wog Boys do indeed live forever. Mr. Frank Lotito. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm very well. So happy that you're here. Thanks for coming. I know you're a very busy individual.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure.
You know, my congratulations to all of your success.
Thank you.
I want to say that
Thank
to you. You know, you've worked with some amazing, talented people. You worked with Jason Lee.
Yes.
Justin Long.
Yes.
Jerry O'Connell.
You're doing your research.
Yeah. You met Manolo. Stephen Bauer.
Yeah, Stephen Bauer.
From Scarface.
Yeah, we're very good friends.
Okay, man, that's great, man. And of course, Australia, one of our Australian-owned Nick Giannopoulos.
Yes.
Who was equivalent to Luis Guzman, I would say. No, I'm just like, and I saw a picture of you and Pachanga.
Luis Guzman. Yeah, we worked together.
How was that? What was it like meeting that guy? He's my favorite non-leading actor.
Super, super nice guy.
Yeah.
Really, we got along like a house on fire. He was great on set. He was great to pure professional.
Yeah.
And then he stole all his wardrobe.
So,
he does that. He just takes all his wardrobe.
Is Justin Long as funny on screen as he is off screen?
I think he's funnier on screen.
Yeah.
He's also someone who's is a professional. He does a lot of work prior to coming on set and
he's a
stuff.
fantastic,
So he's a
fantastic character actor.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, I mean, he had a small role in Old Dogs.
That's right.
You know, with Travolta and Robin Williams, and that small role, I remember that more than the entire film.
Well, you know that old saying: "There's no such thing as
a small part."
Yeah,
exactly.
Small actors.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But he's definitely one of those guys that is memorable in everything he does.
Oh, no,
I mean,
fantastic.
even I remember him from the Apple. You remember the early Apple commercials?
Yeah.
That's what made him famous. I
wow,
think. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you done some acts with a man named Tony Lewis.
Yes.
Now, I had to ask, any relation to Jerry Lewis? Is he his son or something?
No,
the resemblance is uncanny.
Yeah, he's very no relation, but he's very, very good, and he looks and sounds like him.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say
he's an amazing guy. Yeah.
Wow. And I just had to ask because again, I was going through your page. I'm a stalker. You know, I like to research my guests for only one reason, just to see the shocking look on their face when I found out. That they shouldn't know, that I shouldn't know. You know, normally I'll try to find friends or family members of that particular guest and ask questions that nobody else knows but their closest friends.
Yeah,
you know, but I couldn't do that with you today, so I did my best. You studied graphic design.
Oh, yes.
Is that correct?
How did you know that?
At the RMIT at Melbourne?
I did 3 years of what I call cafeteria studies.
Okay, because I was sitting 3 rows behind you. No, that's not true. But no. I found that out. Now, and you learned filmmaking being on set.
Yeah.
And you were observing.
Yeah.
Taking it all in.
I don't know how you know this stuff, but yeah, look, I started off as an actor accidentally, but when I got on set, especially I did one of my first films was a film called Silver Strand, which was an American production here that was mid-90s, I think it was. And I played an American Navy SEAL.
Oh, wow.
In that, and Stephen Curry was in it as well. There's a lot of Aussies in it, but it was Gil Bellows played the lead with Nicolette Sheridan. George Miller directed, not George Miller, Mad Max George Miller. There's another George Miller. But it was an American film, and when I got on set, it was amazing because it was the first time I saw the size of what an American production could be.
Wow.
And seeing everything I was more interested in what was going on behind the scenes than what was going on in front of the camera. Yeah.
No, of course. It's always a wonderful experience. I mean, I haven't been on major movie sets, but I lived in Bahrain for 16 years.
Oh, right, yeah.
And we have a small video production who actually did do scenes for a big Hollywood production.
Right,
They
yeah,
did
yeah.
like those cutaway scenes, those short scenes, you know. And
So second unit stuff. Yeah.
And that was exciting to be a part
Yeah.
of. You know, that was amazing. Oh, by the way, I also have I have a degree in filmmaking, which means I'm unemployed.
Yeah.
All right, so, that's what it means when you get a degree. Now, Frank, they call you the fixer. Is that true?
That's interesting.
All right, but what nobody asks is what broke you in the process to fix everything for everyone else. Is it like an Italian thing? We got like an associate, an enforcer, and then the fixer.
Yeah, I'm like who's that character? Harvey Keitel in Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah. Okay, the Winston Wolfe character.
Yeah. Mr. Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a bit like that. They call me when they need something fixed.
And do you drive like a madman? Be there in 10 minutes?
I'm there in
half
10
an hour
minutes.
away?
Yeah. Rain or shine, I'm there.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Look, I've got a knack for, if you're talking, scripts, I've got a knack taking other people's scripts and, making it better, hopefully.
All right, cool. I've got a few scripts laying around maybe that you can help me out with.
But I also can fix your door. I can fix your toilet, whatever you need.
All right, so you're working on a screwdriver and saying action at the same time.
That's right.
All right. So you're a multitasker.
I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. So.
Okay. I would say that's multi-talented, multitask person. I like that. You've directed other people's words and written your own.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, which version of Frank Lotito is the most honest?
I think the version that you're seeing now is the most honest.
The honest Frank. I have honest Frank. All right.
And the work and the most honest is the work I'm doing right now,
Okay.
which is the Italian Divorce.
Of course,
which is
and
a
we
stage
will.
show.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful, and we will get to that. Now, as a director, I'm sure every director has a scene that they wish they can go back and maybe reshoot, not technically, but maybe on an emotional level. Do you have you experienced that? What would be your scene that you filmed that you would wish that you could have redone again?
That's a very, very good question. I think it would be one of my first films that I wrote and I starred in was Big Mama's Boy.
Ah, yes.
Yes. So with opposite Holly Valance. I think there's a couple of scenes in that film that I wish I'd sort of had an opportunity to reshoot, mainly as an actor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and do it in a way that would probably work better.
Yeah, because I know that's like a pet peeve for many filmmakers. You know, like they'll go back, you know what, if I just did it this way, or maybe if I had done it that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, the way it was done, it was supposed to be done that way, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
But everybody has just that thinking. Could it have been better if I did it like this, or could it have been more impactful if I did it?
But then there's the other way around as well, where I look at scenes where, for example, in Growing Up Smith with Jason Lee.
Yeah.
I had an hour to shoot a scene which was very complicated. It was two actors in a truck with kids in the back, and they would come out, and I didn't have a lot of time, so I did it as a one-er.
Okay.
And when I was shooting it, I was like, this is not going to work. I can't, But when I look back on that scene, it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, and we did it in an hour. And it was all shot in, it's one shot.
I saw the movie the other night.
Oh, you did?
2 nights ago.
Did you enjoy it?
I was very impressed.
Thank you.
Fantastic story. And originally was it originally called Good Old Boy?
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Now the one question I wanted to ask you, which at the very end, the last scene where you see the grown up kid.
Yeah.
And he rides his bike to go see the girl that he was always in love with. And you see him as a kid instead of as an adult riding.
Yeah.
Right? Now, was that filmed deliberately in the sense that like he felt like a little boy? It's actually still the adult that's riding the bike, but he felt like a child, which is why we see the child version of him as he's most happiest, as he's most in love.
Look, it was deliberate, but I shot it as an afterthought on the day, thinking, this might work. But there was, my original ending was actually grown-up Smith going to see Amy as a grown-up, And we actually shot that scene, but I never used it. I cut it out. We had an alternate ending.
Okay.
And then I ended up using the kid crossing the bridge.
Okay,
So,
and I think it worked
Yeah.
very, very well.
Oh, thank you.
I liked it because I took from it. He's remembering what he was like.
Yeah.
You know, he's a child again. I mean, he feels like he's a child again.
Yeah.
That feeling when you have your first love.
Yeah,
You know,
that's right. And it was a
innocence.
throwback because
Yeah.
that bridge meant a lot because for him as a kid, crossing that bridge is a metaphor for a lot of things, but mainly becoming a man.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
No, very wonderfully put film, and
Yeah.
all the actors in it were great.
Yeah, they
I
were
mean,
wonderful, yeah.
I especially liked the man who played the father.
Yeah, Angel Niggum, he was great.
He was all fantastic job. Now, Frank, comedy is often described as tragedy plus time.
Yes.
Alright. What's the tragedy behind your funniest work?
That's a very good question. It's a hard one to answer because I feel like life in general can be tragic, and it's made up of many different moments. You know, so there's not one thing that you can pinpoint and say,
of
"Oh, that,"
course not.
you know. But you know, part of it is my upbringing.
Yeah.
You know, it can be. My upbringing was amazing, but also tragic at times because you look back on it, and you have such a different outlook as a child, yeah, and you see things in a different light than you would now. When I look back on it now, I think, why was I like that, or why did I react that way and stuff. So for us, it was tragic. In a way, but you look back on it now and you think it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. Nothing is ever as bad as what it seems,
No,
is it?
that's right.
You know?
Yeah.
Now, I read something about you that I found both incredible and inspiring. You underwent heart surgery?
Correct, yes.
Now, before the
about
procedure...
2 years ago, just after 2 years.
Now, oh, wow. Now, before your procedure, you asked yourself, what would I regret if I didn't wake up? Is that true?
How do you find out these things?
Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you know, before you go under, I mean, it's a big operation, and there's always that small risk that you won't wake up.
Yeah, of course.
After an operation like that,
Yeah.
because they cut you open, they pull your heart out of your chest, put you on a heart and lung machine, and they operate on your heart. You know,
Man,
and
I'm
they
getting
put it
a heart
back
attack
in.
just thinking about that image.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So they make you sign a paper the night before, and number one risk is death, and so you can't help but think, you know, well, I may not wake up tomorrow.
Will you be like, if I'm going to die, I'm going to kill you?
Yeah. So, you know, I was thinking to myself, if I do wake up the next day, what are the things that I need to change and the things that I regret not doing?
And wasn't one of those things that you regret not doing came in the form of a forgotten script that you had tucked away that eventually became the Italian Divorce?
Yes, part of it.
Wow.
Part of it. Well, that was part of the thing, was that I wanted to, you know, in this industry, it's not an easy way to make a living, especially in Australia. And so you tend to say yes to things that maybe you don't want to do, or you do for the money. Yeah. But I made a conscious effort of saying, look, if you know, if I wake up and I'm alive tomorrow, then I'm going to try and do things that I'm passionate about, that I love doing. And one of them was telling this story, the Italian Divorce, which was really, part of it was a script that was going to become Big Mama's Boy 2.
Okay.
And it was really about, you know, an Italian boy who gets thrown out by his wife and ends up moving back in with his Italian parents. So,
you know.
Pino, yes,
and
who's
you play
here
the father,
today.
Bruno.
Who's here today?
Okay. Oh, God. Just stick your head out so people can see who you are.
Come here,
There's Pino.
He's hanging out with me.
Do you think this could be a play turned into a movie one day?
Potentially, we've had a lot of requests for it. Yeah.
All right. Can I be like an extra that just like sits down, has sips of coffee when something happens?
Yeah, you can definitely
All
do
right,
that.
sweet. Yeah.
I think you're more talented than that. I think you could have a role in it.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Yeah. No, it's hard for a Lebanese man to get a job these days.
Oh no, Lebanese, Italian, same. Don't worry.
Now, speaking of Italian, please help yourself to some baklava and
Well, I think
namura.
that's Greek, right?
Yeah. It is Greek, but it's also Egyptian and Lebanese and pretty much everything else that's involved. But yes, help yourself.
Thank you.
Now, when people are forced to face their own mortality, like the way you have with your heart surgery, I'm guessing, relationships become more important.
Yeah.
Time obviously becomes more precious, and small moments, they become very valuable. Now, the script that was sat in your drawer for years, what made you put it away in the first place? Was it because maybe the timing wasn't good, or were you genuinely thinking it wasn't good enough at the moment that you wrote it?
Look, that was part of it. I think it wasn't good enough for me to kind of spend more time on it, but also I felt that it was very hard for us to, or it's very hard in general to get a film off the ground.
Yeah,
and that kind of genre, that that comedy. And my comedy's always got a lot of heart in it, but it is a hard genre to make.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of thought, part time, part not. I think I'm a much better writer now than I was back then.
Yeah.
And as the more you do it, the better you get at it. But I think I've got more to tell now, and it comes with experience, right?
No,
like
of course.
Experience in my craft, but also in life, and the things that you go through. And I tend to do better when I write about things that I know.
Of course.
So, yeah.
So do you have any more forgotten scripts tucked away that we don't know about?
I've got plenty. Yeah. There's a lot in my bottom drawer that
sweet.
That I start.
Is one of them is the Italian Divorce Part 2?
Yeah. Well, there's we've got to see my business partner and I, Joe. We always get together and we're always bouncing ideas off each other. But I think we've got a whole series: the Italian funeral, the Italian baptism, the Italian holiday. Like there's a whole series of shows.
This is something that people will demand more of.
Yes.
Know? I mean, okay, you can also have an episode, the Italian go on a date with the Greeks.
Yeah, well, we have a Greek in our show. Right. Steve Mazakis, a good friend of ours, plays Dimitri in the show.
Okay,
but look, we are developing not only a film, but also we're looking at a TV show based on those characters as well. So,
I shouldn't be saying this, but I actually wrote a pilot.
Oh yes,
I wrote a pilot.
Is it about a Lebanese family?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. But there is an Arab character who is roommates with a Jewish person.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
So that's where the comedy part comes out of.
It's like The Odd Couple, right?
Yeah, but this is like extremely odd couple. This is the opposite couple. You got the odd couple and you got the opposite couple. But the thing is, a lot of people are amazed how close they are as friends. Sure, they argue and they bicker, like normally would, and and I put a lot of references of what they'll be arguing about.
Yeah.
But they're neighbors to the main character who just moved into the building.
Oh, okay.
And it's basically about him. I can't say anything right now, but I'll tell you after the show. But I sent him the script, and he said he won't be able to read it until mid-July. So I'm waiting for it. I really put my heart into this pilot because I do writing as well. Oh. And I must have rewritten my first script like 323 times.
Yeah, it usually happens.
Because the first time I wrote it, it was all over the place. I didn't know the rules of writing a script. I just write somebody's name down and what they would say, then somebody else's name down and what they would say.
But there are no rules, though.
No, yeah, but
I think that.
But when you look at it, it's like I'm not reading that.
Yeah,
it's not structured well. I mean, you could have gold in it, but it's written like caca.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? In the style that it's written.
Oh yeah, there's a way. Yeah.
So when you write it, when you just structure it up a little bit, and then spice it up, then people want to pick it up and at least read the first page.
Yeah.
And I think I did that successfully with this one for him. Now, I was going to ask you what your top 5 movies are, but I found out your top 4 anyway.
Oh, okay.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong. Star Wars. Didn't say which one. It just said Star Wars. So I'm guessing
it's not in my top 5.
Okay. Lost in Translation.
Yes, that's what.
Sofia Coppola.
Yeah, Sofia Coppola's film. Yeah. Yep. Bill Murray.
Gross Point Blank?
No.
Okay, I don't know how that got in there.
Yeah.
The Shawshank Redemption.
Well, no, it's not my top 5, but it's
okay. So I'm embarrassed because this is where I got it from. And any film by Kevin Smith and Tarantino, is that true?
No.
I'm a fan
of Tarantino.
All right, yeah. I have to. I'm gonna make a big word complaint on the where I got this information from.
Is that on Wikipedia?
No, that wasn't on Wikipedia.
Oh, right.
Okay.
No, look, I think most Italians, but one of my top films obviously is Godfather.
The Godfather.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
You don't have to be Italian to like The Godfather.
And not just because, I mean, it's an amazing film, and Godfather too, I guess, but just because as a kid, when I watched it back in the late 70s, we saw ourselves up there, even though it was not the mafia part, but just our culture and the way the family dynamics and stuff like that. Yeah. So it was very much a big influence on why I love cinema. But I think for me, another top film is Cinema Paradiso. Okay. So that's a huge influence on me. Because as a kid, I grew up in Brunswick, near Sydney Road, and back in the day we used to have a lot of picture houses along Sydney Road, and one of them was the Metropolitan, which doesn't exist anymore, but they used to show films, and my parents used to take me to watch movies all the time, and my earliest memory is watching The Ten Commandments. Oh, wow. But in Italian.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Because all the films that we watched at the Metropolitan were all Italian, but it wasn't until I was like 16 or 17 that I realized that those movies were actually Hollywood movies dubbed in Italian. So for a long time I thought The Ten Commandments was an Italian film, but Gregory Peck was not Italian. So yeah.
Charlton Heston.
Oh, sorry, Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
Not Gregory Peck. Charlton Heston. Yeah.
No, that would be interesting to see Charlton Heston for the first time speaking Italian.
Yeah. So look, there are a lot of films that Reservoir Dogs was another film that, and it was more the story behind how that film got made and how Tarantino started. It was Tarantino was a guy that worked in a video store. Yeah. But has got a brilliant mind. And was able to make a film. And I took that and, if he can do it, then maybe I can do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love Tarantino's work, but I love him more as a writer than I do as a director. I'm not knocking his directing, but he's a better writer than he is a film director, in my opinion, at least. And The Reservoir Dogs, that was inspired by a Hong Kong film called City on Fire. For those who don't know. Yeah. And speaking of directors, we have reached a category where I'm going to mention two directors.
Yes.
I got a list of two directors each. And you get to choose, and you tell me which one you prefer out of these two.
Sure.
That I'm going to say. And let's start old school, when cinema was black and white. Alfred Hitchcock or Orson Welles?
Oh, I'd have to say Alfred Hitchcock. Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock. Yeah. Stanley Kubrick or Woody Allen?
Woody Allen.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Always go with the nerd with the glasses, yep.
I love the comedy over
the person who took LSD when he made 2001 Space Odyssey. Okay.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg or George Lucas?
Steven Spielberg.
That's a no-brainer.
Steven Spielberg is one of my all-time favorites, and I get a lot of growing up. Smith was very influenced by Steven Spielberg.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Robert Zemeckis or J.J. Abrams?
It's an interesting one. I'd say J.J. Abrams.
Really?
Yeah.
You'll take Star Wars over Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
James Cameron or Christopher Nolan?
I'd have to say James Cameron.
There we go. Yeah. Old school.
Yeah.
Yep. Here's a tough one. Oliver Stone or Tarantino?
Natural Born Killers.
I was hoping you would mention
Natural Born Killers, man, that was a confronting film.
Dude.
And that made me feel things that,
See, if Tarantino had directed it in the Tarantino way, it would have lost something.
Yeah, it would have lost. Yeah, absolutely. So I'd have to say Oliver Stone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, that's the correct answer. And it can't be. It could not have been Tarantino. I would look at you different the entire podcast after that.
He hasn't done much lately, but...
No, that's fine. He wants to do his 10 films and stop at 10. That's his magic number. He's at 8 or 9 right now?
Yeah.
Francis Ford Coppola or Brian De Palma?
Oh, that's a tough one, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's a tough one.
I put two Italians together. I shouldn't have done that.
I'd say that's an equal. That's a draw right there.
Fine.
I'd have to say.
That's an acceptable answer.
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese or David Fincher?
Oh, Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, but I like David Fincher too. But
David Fincher's great, yeah.
Guy Ritchie or David Lynch?
Oh, David Lynch.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay.
Yeah, Wild at Heart is one of my favorite films. Yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson
Yeah.
or Ron Howard?
Oh, man. I'd have to say Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Ron Howard.
I mean, they're both fantastic.
Yeah, they're both fantastic, but Ron Howard is like, again, is on par with Spielberg for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from Opie to Ron.
Yeah.
That's a huge accomplishment. And finally, Clint Eastwood or Mel Gibson?
Clint Eastwood.
Okay.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood is...
You can't get $1 Million Baby.
I mean, his best work was in the last kind of 20 years, as a director.
No, naturally. Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite Westerns is Unforgiven.
Yeah, man.
It's a fantastic
amazing.
film,
Yeah.
And not to mention $1 Million Baby and Mystic River and God knows how many others have done.
Yeah.
But Eastwood has done some amazing stuff, and he has done pure crap as well. I mean, Heartbreak Ridge. And then The Rookie.
Yeah.
I mean, you just watch it for Charlie Sheen, basically, because he was a young up-and-comer or his prime kind of thing, getting into his prime. It's just one of those. It's just one of those films that if you're changing the channels and you land on it, fuck it. Just watch it to the end. You know what I mean? All right. Oh, by the way, we don't change channels anymore. We just change streaming services. Which one is better?
It's still changing channels.
Yeah, but it's still changing channels. All right. Now, your childhood was defined by parents speaking Italian at home and children trying to break free. Which side of that tension did you sit on, Mr. Frank? Were you the obedient Italian son, or were you already quietly plotting for your escape?
In the eyes of my parents, I was the good, obedient son.
Okay.
And I'll give you an example. So my dad had this thing, he was a tough, father who had rules. And one of those rules was that he didn't like us wearing ripped jeans. Now, in the 90s, that was a big thing. George Michael came out with those ripped jeans. We all wanted to look like George Michael, right? And so, but he had this thing because if we wore ripped jeans, then we were looked at as poor. Mm-hmm. And, he built, a life for us where, we're now well off, and he had a thriving business. And so he didn't want us to go around looking like we're poor.
Yeah.
And so I stuck to the rule. My brothers didn't, and they got disciplined for it. But I did the smart thing. I said, no worries. I used to wear my nice jeans when we'd go visit the relatives. But when I'd go out, I put my ripped jeans in my bag, and I'd go out and I'd change my jeans, and and my parents didn't know any better.
I thought only women did that when their parents said you can't wear makeup, and they put all that stuff in their bag. And they
No, I used to do the same thing.
Oh, wow.
So in the eyes of my parents, I was the good Italian boy, but when I was out that door, I was not.
You were breaking up gangs.
I was a rebel. Yeah,
that's what you were doing.
That's right.
All right, sweet. Now, okay, so like many Italian immigrants, your parents came to this country with nothing but their hands and their stories.
Yes.
At what age did you understand the size of that sacrifice, and did it feel like pressure or inspiration?
Oh no, it was inspiration. I didn't realize until very late in life when I was older as an adult. As a kid, I didn't realize. And as you get older and you have your own kids and you struggle in life, I kind of wish that my parents, because everything was behind closed doors, and that was their struggles, their love, everything was behind closed doors. So we didn't see that.
Of course. I mean, I'm a single father, and we all go through struggles, but I'll never say to my son, I'm having trouble paying the rent. Have a good day at school.
Yeah.
You don't want to put that on them at all. So
no,
you have to shield them from that.
I'm a little more open with my kids than my parents were. Okay. And I feel like it's a good way to teach them what's coming and the struggles in life. So
as parents, we always strive to want to give our children things that we didn't have. But Do you feel like it's just as important to give your child things that you did have?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like in terms of what I'm talking about is like the sense of respect and the
Yeah.
discipline, because many children today are going wild.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like they're almost literally, not literally, but they're almost getting away with murder. They get away with things that you and I at our generation would never have gotten away with.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
man, that's a whole other discussion.
But, you know, like I mean, but you were saying, you know, you're more open with your kids than your parents were with you.
Yeah.
So, I think the younger generation are like that with their children as well. But you always try to strive. You know what? I'm not going to stand for that because you know what? My mother didn't stand
well,
for
look,
that.
I think it does come from parenting, but you know, there's no rule book for it that says this is the way you have to do it. And you know, and this is, if you do it this way, it's going to work, because as parents, you can try and instill these values and sense of respect and, you know, doing the right thing and all that sort of stuff. But ultimately, the things that are out there may influence them more than what parents do. So it's, you know, they say, oh, it's when kids go out and steal a car or whatever, oh, it's the parents' fault. But how do you know? It could be. They're probably not raised the right way, but there is a portion of that where they are influenced by other people, their peers, their friends.
Yeah, of course.
To do bad things. So it's hard. It's a hard one. It's a tough one.
My son got caught shoplifting because a friend of his encouraged him to do it.
Yeah.
So and like the old school days, I took him to the place that he stole from. All right, apologized
say sorry,
to the guy, and I
give it back.
Yeah, and he paid for it from his own money and stuff like that. So you know, I do prefer the good old days of discipline. Those books are obviously written by white people who have never had children before. Because we read those baby books and that was all bullshit. None of that was there. All right, no, we should.
But there are things that are like, you know, look, immigrant parents discipline their children differently.
Of course,
you know, we got the wooden spoon or the shoe thrown at us or whatever, which is things that we don't. I mean, I don't do. I don't discipline my kids that way. But
I mean, I remember a time where you would get hit, but there were times when they would look at you like you're about to get hit.
That's right.
And then they do that face.
All they needed was
just do that.
I used to,
okay, dang.
I used to call my dad Robert De Niro because he gave me that. Don't you do it.
You know? See, if I gave my son a choice between giving him an ass whooping or turning off the computer for 2 days, he'll take the ass whooping.
He'll take the ass whooping.
Because he wants to. You know, that pain comes and goes, but the computer, I mean, you know what I mean? So he's smarter than I gave him credit for.
That's a good point, because that's the other difference, is that we didn't grow up that way. We didn't have, you know, internet, social media, phones.
Or many materialistic things.
That's right.
You know? All right. Now, I'm going to, you know, we've already covered that. I was going to ask you that question, but not anymore. Actually, now I will. You've described your childhood as being suspended between two identities. Italian enough for your parents, Australian enough for your schoolmates. Which identity did you have to fight harder to protect?
Oh, yeah, that's a hard question to answer, because I still grapple with it.
You do?
I still grapple with it. Yeah.
Wow.
I still feel like I'm stuck between two worlds.
Okay.
Yeah.
I totally can relate to that, which is why I asked this question. Because when I was living in the Gulf, I worked with Lebanese people there. Now, in Australia, living here, I wasn't quite Australian enough.
Yeah.
In the eyes of Lebanese people who never lived outside of the region, I was not Lebanese enough.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I'm not Australian enough, then I'm not Lebanese enough.
What am I?
You know, I hung out with Filipinos and Indians and basically the rejects that, you know, that we had our own little reject. But the reject group was the most fun group, because then the Lebanese, who didn't call me Lebanese, wanted to be a part of my Lebanese kind of group. And I said, and I could have done the same Lebanese thing, say, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. But I did something that they didn't expect. Ahlan wa sahlan, come on.
Yeah.
You know what? And that made them feel even shittier. But at the end, I still. It took 3 years for them to realize maybe you're Lebanese.
maybe you're part Lebanese.
Maybe, just maybe. And I said, like, dude, I'm more Lebanese than you, right? Yeah. And okay, all right. I'm about to drop a bomb here, literally. All right. He goes, I'm more Lebanese than you. He goes, how do you figure? Well, my dad got killed in an Israeli airstrike. Come on, man. Yeah, right. You got to give me the Lebanese credit for that. Yeah, and it was like, fine. Yeah, and they had to accept at the end. No, I didn't mean to bring it down, but you know,
no.
But yeah, All right. Now, moving on. You were a waiter
Yes.
in your 20s, in your mid-20s.
Yes.
When a producer noticed you making people laugh, I couldn't find out that producer's name. But was that really the beginning? Or were you performing your whole life and the restaurant was just the first time someone with power happened to be watching?
Look, I was a shy kid.
Yeah?
Yeah, I wasn't very confident. Although at school I was like the class clown, but when it came to maybe doing something on stage or whatever, it wasn't. I was too shy to do that. So it really wasn't until in my early 20s that I came out of my shell and I became confident. And the restaurant was my stage.
Okay.
And so for me, it was, I got to a point where I was doing characters. I was playing an Italian who couldn't speak English just to impress the girls.
Oh, nice.
So I was doing things like that. I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew that I was just performing. In the restaurant, my brother and I used to throw pizza dough from one side of the restaurant to the other just to, put on a show. So we were doing things like that.
Did you ever speak in the Italian accent?
Oh, yeah, always.
Okay.
Yeah, always.
That's
so,
cool.
so for me, that was a time, and, for me, it was accident. It was an accident. A producer came in that was doing a stage show and thought I was pretty funny and, do you want to come and audition for this show? And I did, and I got the part. And it's weird how things happen because in this particular show, we rehearsed for 6 weeks. I'd never rehearsed anything. I never learned a script before, but I had to learn this part. And when it came to the crunch and I had to go out on stage, I got stage fright opening night. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And maybe it was a sign from God or somewhere, but at that point when I was I was like, I can't do this. Someone was on stage, the show had started, called my name and said, Frank, fire. And I looked out and the curtains had caught fire in the theatre.
No shit.
And I was in my 16th century costume and I got the closest fire extinguisher and I ran out and I put out the fire and everyone started clapping. And I was like, oh, wow, this is a great feeling. And I looked down and I was like, oh, the audiences are really appreciative. And I'm like, maybe I can do this. And so we started the show again and I went out and we did the show and it was a hit. And and that was it for me,
So the lesson learned, when you have stage fright, set something on fire.
That's right.
And see how that person can react. All right? And if they put it out, they've got a career.
Yeah, they've got a career.
All right. Oh, wow.
So
that's a story and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you walk into a room in Hollywood, are you Frank Lotito, the director, or are you still that kid from Melbourne with something to prove?
I have been in that situation where there was one time I was in a meeting with the head of Warner Brothers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so I think I'm Frank Lotito, but I will say in the US they love Australians. Yeah. And so when I would enter a room, and I don't usually do this here, I'd go, "G'day, mate, how are you? All right?"
Not the Australian accent right away, mate. Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you're Australian."
Fucking
He's the real deal. So I will say that I did put it on slightly.
You know what? What would be amazing is if you, as an Italian Australian who busted out the thick Australian accent to an Italian American, just to have them look at you freaked out.
Well, what's interesting is that, especially in LA, they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, I'm confused. So your name's," because they called me Franco. My real name's Franco. Oh. Yeah, and not Frank. But
how did I not know that?
And in America, when I lived and worked there, everyone would call me Franco because that was all. It was on my passport. It was on. I had all the visas and everything. Yeah. So when they'd get that information, it was Franco. So no one ever called me Frank. And so to the point where I think I did growing up Smith, and they're like, "Oh, why is your credit Frank and not Franco?" And I was like, well, that's, my name in Australia. Anyway, they were confused. They were like, wait a minute, you're Italian, but you speak like with an Aussie accent? So there was this kind of confusion. But and I don't have that real Aussie twang,
but you
that they used to.
But you've been living here so much, I'm sure you can adapt it so easily. I would love to see a mafia Don boss from Brunswick and a mafia Don boss from Hoboken having a conversation. Yeah, that would be funny. Now, let's get to the word wog. Now, the word wog went from a slur to a punchline.
Yes.
To almost a badge of honor, and it is a badge of honor, in my opinion. Now, and you had a hand in that journey. Does that feel like a victory, or does it feel like it still stings somewhere?
I have a love-hate relationship with the word wog.
Love and hate relationship?
Yeah. And if you go back to everything I've done to date, including this show, I really never used the word wog.
Okay.
In any of the promotions, in any of the titles or anything like that. So in my own work.
Yeah.
Now I have worked with Nick Giannopoulos and Vince Colosimo. We did the Wog Boys live on stage together in 2014, 15. And then I directed Wog Boys Forever. So I was involved in that respect, but really in that instance, I was a gun for hire. But I know what those guys did for what we do today, because they kind of broke the barrier and created theatre and film and television that was accepted by the broader community for us to go out and do our thing. So, but even when I did stand-up, I wasn't doing wog comedy. I just never used that.
No, I totally understand, because as much as the whole, what I like to call woganism or wogiology, that kind of gave us that first platform, that's not something that we just want to be known for. That's
correct. Yeah.
You know, I mean, we can do more than just this.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And it was one of the main reasons why I left Australia and went to the US to work, because I think when I did Big Mama's Boy, and again, I never used the word wog. I don't think we used it in the film at all, in none of the promotions. But that's what the critics were expecting. When they saw Big Mama's Boy, they were disappointed because it wasn't a wog movie. And they were like,
but he had hints of it on there without actually having to say it.
Exactly. And for me, it was just, no, I just wanted to make a romantic comedy, which was set in the world of the Italian-Australian. But if you look at that movie, it was more representative of what Melbourne or Australia is, because, you know, it was Italians, Greeks, Lebanese, there was some Asians in there, and it wasn't on purpose. That was just like what we grew up with.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so for me, it wasn't, I'm doing a wog movie.
Yeah.
I'm doing a romantic comedy with these characters.
Yeah. And take it as how you see it.
That's right. But the critics were like, you know, this is not woggy enough. This is not,
the Australian critics,
you know, they were expecting another wog movie.
Yeah. Well,
and I didn't give them that.
Another big wog movie, but they never said the word.
Yeah.
And it's probably not a very common in America anyway, was My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that was the perfect example of showing Italian culture.
Or Greek.
Oh, Greek culture.
Yeah.
Greek culture, that's right. It was My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I said Italian.
Yeah.
But it was a great way to show that culture without expecting the word used or said, or the stereotypes of how they behave. It's already in the title of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's in the characters as well.
And it's interesting because a film like Wog Boy or, you know, Wog Boys Forever, it's a very local film and it doesn't really translate overseas, because like in the UK, you can't use the word wog because it's a derogative, like, you know, it's like using the N word.
Oh, really?
You know, it's like that. So yeah, it's a tricky thing. That wasn't a deterrent for me. I just didn't, I'd never really connected with that word, you know. Yes, I was called a wog as a kid, but, you know, in high school, I went to a school where it was predominantly ethnic. Yeah. And, you know, the minority were the Anglos. High school, yeah.
In grade school, you were it's like there were only 2 or 3 ethnic kids
That's
in the whole
right,
school.
yeah.
But when you get to high school, they're everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
It feels like a prison because everybody is segregated. You have the wogs on this side, you had the Asians on that side.
There were Italians, Greeks, Lebanese.
But they would be together as one.
But yeah, we were sort of like, yeah.
And when you get to uni, everybody's united.
No, it's the opposite.
Yeah,
it's the opposite. I went to uni and I was one of 3 ethnics.
Oh, really?
At uni, yeah.
I went to university filled with Latino people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And every Tuesday I would sit in the plaza because I only had one class in the morning, and I would bring my shisha.
Oh, really?
And I'll be sitting in the middle of the plaza.
And they'd all join in?
And they all sit down and smoke with me. They bring their Latino food. They'll bring their boom box. We'll listen to salsa. And we're in the middle of the plaza. And all these white kids are looking at us like, what in the flying fuck is going on over here? You know? And they sent a security guard to make sure that we're not smoking the reefer. And the security guard was Iranian. So he knew exactly what we were smoking.
Yeah,
and he ended up sitting with us, enjoying the food and smoking before he went out.
Yeah.
So, I still have that reputation. I'm the only one in Flinders University to bring the shisha every Tuesday for 3 years. Yeah. All right. Now, you wrote your latest play, Going Through Illness and Hardship.
Yes.
At what point does pain become material, and at what point is it just pain?
I think all my pain becomes material.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think just in general. So there's not one point where it kind of changes. I think I use tragedy and pain as a way to kind of find the comedy. So I think it just happens, really.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, most people quit before they break through. What was the moment you almost became most people?
There were many times where I almost became most people. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I've been in the industry 30 years.
Wow.
And I've had my ups and downs. I've had more downs than ups.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of times where I look back now and I think, I've done in my downtime, I've done other things. And my dad was a carpenter and a builder. And so, I learned the trade of him at an early age. So I kind of used that,
The fixer.
And so there were times when I'd kind of go, well, maybe I need to give that up.
Yeah.
It's not working and just become a builder or, I had restaurants in the days, but my heart was never in it.
Yeah.
My heart, I did do those things and I did them well. I was good at that stuff, but I just wasn't here. And so I would always go back to doing, the things that I love. And how I like one of my biggest influences is Joe Accurso, my business partner and producer, and we've been together for 20 years.
Yeah.
And he's always the guy that goes, Frank, we've got to do this and you've got to do that. And no, but so, it's hard to give it up when there's and other people that kind of back you and say you're talented enough to keep going.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of influence out there that gets me up in the morning and just try again.
Those are some very motivational words. You need something to keep going, especially in today's world. I guess maybe in old generations there was always a form of tragedy that's going on in the world that's affecting us all, like we have today. We had that again before with in Iraq in the early 2000s, in Iraq in the early 90s. And they kept on going. And so when you're dealing with the harsh realities of the world, it kind of becomes more difficult to ask yourself, how can I continue to go on? Or what can I do? Or so you need some that motivational type.
But the one thing that keeps me going, especially with comedy, is that in times, in the economic downfall that we're going through at the moment, or people always look for an escape, to kind of lose themselves for 2 hours and enjoy, laugh, forget about their problems. And I think that's what I love most about it, that I can be part of that and just go, well, come and see my show. I'll make you laugh for 2 hours. And,
When you're on stage and you're making the people laugh doing what you do you feel that sense of aura, like this incredibly therapeutic, that you're also getting as much enjoyment out of it as the audience watching you is?
Absolutely. For me, it's therapy. Yeah. I get out. I forget about my problems for 2 hours.
So if only Tony Soprano did stand up.
Yeah, that's right.
Then I think okay.
But it could be. It's also, I have a lot of friends that are actors. It is that as well. Like you become, when you're acting, without sounding cliche, but you become another character.
No, of course.
And so you lose yourself for a little bit.
Yeah.
And you're in the moment and you're playing someone else, and that's what's great about it, right?
See, I was going to take a risk today, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because I'm on season 3 of my show, and I wanted to introduce a different character. and he's going to be an Arab person who wears the thobe and everything.
Oh, right.
And his name is In Sultan, which is the pun to insulting. All right. So I was thinking, should I do that
I don't
with
know.
Frank?
I want to see that.
Should I do that with Frank? Shall I? I don't know. Because my
No, but I like you, Magic.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
fine.
you.
No,
This
I'm
is
going
great.
to introduce this character in season 3. I have to. All right. He's going to be that typical, stereotypical person asking these kinds of questions, but he asks stupid questions that not people ask. Like you work with Justin Long, right?
Yeah.
So if I was playing, I'm going to give you like a little sample of this character. I had my rosary beads, by the way. I was, like the full story. So you work with the Justine Long. What does he smell like?
He smells like roses.
No tulip.
No, roses.
No sunflower.
No. See, that's great. I like that.
So that was the character.
Yeah.
All right. And people were saying to me, "Imagine, it's funny, but I don't know if it's gonna work." And I was like, "Probably not." All right. But what the hell do I have to do? I wrote a theme song for In Sultan. All right, that I was gonna put in, all right, between every segment before he comes out. Because when that theme song is on, we take a break. I put on the third, and I come as In Sultan for 5 minutes. And,
I think you should try it.
For those who are watching, I got that direction from a director, producer, and fixer.
You don't know with any of this stuff. You don't know until you try it.
No,
right?
of course not. Of course not. So yeah, I knew I had something there. So okay, cool. So episode 2, expect In Sultan.
Right.
Yeah, Now, resilient is a word people use from the outside looking in. What does it actually feel like from the inside when you were living in it?
Resilience. Yeah. It's a tough one, man.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. It's you've got to have thick skin in this business.
Of course.
Yeah. And you've got to, I know a lot of people, especially actors who I've worked with early on, who just gave up. They were great actors, but just gave up because it's a hard slog. Okay. And you have to be resilient. You have to, hang in there.
Thick skin for thick skulls.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am, as they say, a testadora. I'm a hardhead, so like,
you can't be Italian.
I say this, especially after my operation, it's like we're not here for long.
No, of course not.
And if you don't give it a good crack, if you don't give it a good try, you'll never know.
No, of course
and so
not.
for me, I'm still trying. I mean, I've done some amazing stuff, and I work with some amazing people, and I've done things that they told me, you'll never go to Hollywood and make a Hollywood film, but I did.
Yeah.
I've produced 5 films in America and directed one, so I did what I set out to do. And if you don't try it,
they didn't have it on stream, but I was trying to find lookalike.
The lookalike, I produced that one.
Yeah.
There was a great cast.
Yeah,
great cast.
That's the one with Justin Long and Jerry.
Correct, John Corbett, Luis Guzman, Gina Gershon. Yeah. There's a lot of great actors in that.
No, I'll get around to it. Don't worry, I always do. Now, you've reinvented yourself multiple times, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
But what part of you has never changed regardless of what the industry threw at you?
Oh, geez, that's a very good question. I think being humble. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my favorite part of doing anything is talking to people after a show or after the screening, and just people telling me that they love what they saw, or that changed, that made them feel a certain way, or thank you for the laughs, or whatever. That gives me great pleasure, and I think I still feel I stay humble.
Very important.
Even though I feel like sometimes, maybe I am. I walk down the street, people recognize me, or they don't, but they might say, "Oh, I know you from somewhere," whatever. You feel like a celebrity, but at the end of the day, I feel like I'm still myself.
Yes, of course. Of course. Now, you've made people laugh with their whole lives, but when was the last time someone genuinely made you laugh until it hurt?
Oh, that's a good question. I recently saw a show with George Capanaris.
Is it an Yaya show?
No, it was the Life of Byron.
Oh, that's right, Life of Byron.
And he made me laugh. He made me cry as well.
George is great.
Yeah.
All right? And if you haven't figured it out already, that part that we were talking about is about that particular George.
Yeah.
All right? No, George is fantastic. He's an all-rounder.
No, he's been around a long time.
Like he doesn't just do comedy; he can do tragedy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
no, he's a brilliant actor, and he needs to do more of it. I think.
I believe so. Yeah. We need a tragedy / comedy combination thing.
Yeah.
In what he can give us, and it's amazing. Now, what is the greatest compliment that you've ever received from a fellow artist, being a filmmaker or a comedian?
I think I can say his name, Santo Chilaudo, who's a mentor of mine.
Okay. Santo.
Yeah, from Working Dog. So Santo came to see a screening, and after the screening, he said to me, he goes, "Frank, that was amazing. I loved it." He goes, "You've inspired me to open up my drawer and look at some of my scripts and see if I can if I can make another film." So yeah, I think that was the biggest compliment from one of my peers. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, Frank, we have reached what I like to call the existential part of the podcast. So yeah, we're going to get a little bit.
This is the end.
Here.
All right.
Yeah, we're very, very close to the end. Now, here's a big fundamental question I like to ask everybody. Frank, what happens to us when we die?
Oh, it depends if you get cremated or not. So we get turned to ash, or just bones. Okay, that's what I think.
Cool. When your heart literally stopped working, did Frank Lotito, the filmmaker, stop working too, and who came out on the other side?
No, it was the same me, just more motivated.
More motivated.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Most people have a near-death experience and say it changed everything. But when you went back to the stage, back to the wooden boards, back to the beginning, was that courage, or was that the only language you actually know how to speak?
I'd like to think it's courage, because apart from that, there are day-to-day challenges in life that you could easily make you not go up on stage and do it. And every day I get up and do it regardless of what happens. So
that is courage.
Yeah.
Now, heart surgery has a way of answering questions you didn't know you were asking. What question did it answer for you?
What does life mean to you?
Okay, yeah. Fantastic. Now, we've come to something that I'm sure you're very familiar with.
He's very prepared.
Now, I'm pretty sure, being in the film industry, you are very familiar with American writer / actor James Lipton.
Yes. Yeah.
I have adopted his 10 questionnaires.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yep, I know those.
Yeah. And for a lot of you people who do not know, he had a show called Inside the Actor Studio.
Inside the Actor Studio. Brilliant show. I watched that.
And I can never mention James Lipton without mentioning the person that influenced him the most, a Frenchman journalist by the name of Bernard Pivot.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. James.
Are you going to do James Lipton right now?
No.
Okay.
But you know what? If it makes you feel better, I'll ask you the question that he asked without making eye contact.
Okay, yeah.
But that's what he used to do.
Yeah.
What is your favorite word?
Blue.
Okay.
Is my favorite word.
What is your least favorite word?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that.
No, I don't know. It's not. It's more than
sort of a phrase.
It's a phrase more than a word.
You know why? Because I don't know can get you out of so much trouble.
Yeah.
All right. What turns you on?
Love.
What turns you off?
Hate.
What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
What sound or noise do you love?
Farts.
South Park made an entire fortune from that. What sound or noise do you hate?
Farts.
You got the double whammy right there. Okay. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I would probably become a priest.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. What profession would you not like to do?
A priest.
Damn these confessions, you know. All right. And finally, for the would not be priest, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Don't do that again.
Now, if that's not golden stuff, I don't know what is. Mr. Frank. Now, you know, there are guests who come on a podcast and give you answers. And then there are guests who come and give you something to think about. For a long time after the microphone goes off, Frank, you are firmly in that second category.
Thank you.
A man who took the stories of Italian migrants, of his own parents, his own community, his own Brunswick, and made sure the whole world got to hear them. The Italian divorce is a must-see. Frank, on behalf of the Magic Hour, I want to thank you so much for being on my first episode of season 3. It was a blast and a pleasure.
Thank you.
And I do hope after you win your first Oscar, you come back and see me again.
Absolutely. But you have to promise you're going to do the Insultano.
Insultano's coming, and I got the go-ahead from Frank. I got the action from Frank.
Do it.
I can't wait to offend. Thanks, everyone, for joining me at this episode of the Magic Hour. I'm your host, Magic and Derry, a.k.a. Magic Lev. Follow me on my Instagram at Fame Film Agency and click that subscribe button on YouTube at Magic and Derry. And for the love of God, follow Frank Lotito. It's just such a fun name to say, Lotito. And check out the Italian Divorce and check out his YouTube channel. He's got some amazing stuff. And until next time, everybody, ciao!
Ciao.
I'm broke, bitch!